Yeah, now, getting back to this matter of whether the rise of the modern greenback, first of all, we have no modern greenback. We use the term greenback with the little g, to talk about U.S. dollars, and I think that's what you're talking about. But for those of us who love the greenbacks with the capital G, it's kind of blasphemy. Um, now, I don't, your points about going off the gold standard. We went off the gold standards, and there's no value to the currency. No, no, no. The gold standard is a problem. You know, was a problem. Always was a problem. If you ever really followed what was going on while we had gold, boatloads of gold going back and forth either between across the ocean or from country to country, so that gold could be hoarded, so that the value of a nation's currency could be influenced. The value of the currency could be influenced, not the value of the gold, but the value of the currency could be influenced by the movement of gold. And the need to always have more gold. You know, why did we go off the gold standard? Why? Did other countries go off the gold standard before we went off the gold standard? And if our currency was tied to gold, and those other countries went off the gold standard, and then people could trade in those currencies, wasn't our currency at risk? And the answer is yes to all those questions. So there was a reason why we went off that, tying the value of the dollar to a certain amount of gold. Okay, it wasn't working. It wasn't working in the world. And to say, well, that's confiscation by the government. That's the government actually worried about our economy and worried about what's happening with our money. Currencies don't have to be tied to gold. There's no reason for currencies to be tied to gold or any other commodity. There's none whatsoever. You know. Actually, if you really want to know where fiat money gets its value, it gets its value from sound management. That's where it gets its value. Sound management, confidence, and trust. Okay? Now, I already covered the fact that, fiat money doesn't require debt to exist, to keep going. That the creation of fiat money, a government issue fiat money, debt free, is a completely viable and in fact necessary, both economically and scientifically. And I've pointed you in the direction, several times of the books on that. To me, if you read Frederick Soddy's books on wealth, virtual wealth, and if you read his book on the role of money, uh, the idea that we have to have a commodity-based, currency is folly. It's folly. It might have a certain appeal to people who want to think that or claim that the government is bad because it's the government. Well, I've said this before. This is my government, and I ain't giving it up to anybody. Okay? I ain't giving it up to the bankers who have it now, and I'm not giving it up to the free marketeering Austrians, who want to take over the money system and the government from the American people. So the rise of the modern greenback, for your information, is yet to come. And it's coming. And it's going to come because of the reasons that I just mentioned, which is it is the sound economic thing to do. It is the right of the people to have their own money system. And I'm going to jump into that right there, okay? Our own money system. Our own money system. Now, you made a comment back on Modern Mystic about you didn't ask for my money system. Well, here's the way money systems work, okay? You can have your own money system. You can have your own money system. Since we've had the Federal Reserve Act, haven't we had vast quantities of script money? Aren't they their own money system? Didn't they function completely? Don't we today have private currencies? Don't we have the experiment of barter, the experiment of fake dollars, if you will. I mean, I know that we do, because a lot of people that I know participate in those alternative currencies. Okay, so don't say that that we can't have them. We can have them. What they can't be is dollar denominated. They can't claim to be tied to the United States dollar in their denomination. They cannot claim to be representing the legal tender in the United States. Why? Because we need to protect our legal tender. That's why. Because when I have something that's valued in United States dollars, I want to protect the value of that thing. Okay? I don't want somebody going out there and creating some other currency that's denominated in United States dollars that can have the impact of dragging down the value of the thing that I have and that I own. Because why? Because we are a nation, sovereign nation of sovereign people, okay, free people, and we have a money system. We have a money system. Now, of course, what we're proposing is to completely change that money system. We want the government to issue the money debt-free. We want to break the yoke. But the idea that it has to be tied to a commodity, or that that there's no value to it, you will find there is value to it, just exactly like what happened with the colonies. I've said this before. If there's some reason why there's no validity to the colonies creating their own money and maintaining their value and prospering as a people, which is all we want for our money to do, if there is, say what that is. Don't fall back on the government as evil, therefore we can't trust them to and I'm not saying that they're not evil. I'm just saying that they don't need to be evil, and we can prevent them from being evil by taking the money system back from the private bankers. We do not see a need for, we see it being actually against the Constitution for the private bankers to be creating any money in this country. Only the Congress shall create money. Only the Congress. What money? The legal tender money of the United States of America for things denominated in United States dollars. Very, very plain and simple. I'd like to hear back from you here with a video. Thanks.